From the worldwide headquarters of More Sports and Les-Levine, it's a Tuesday night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to More Sports and Les-Levine into its 24th consecutive year. Seen exclusively on cleveland.com, as is Andy Baskin from 92.3 The Fan. How come a guy can make an appearance on radio? That's not possible.
It's a vocal appearance.
It's a verbal appearance.
An oral appearance, yes. Much like tests in school.
And Andy Baskin, 92.3 The Fan, with Baskin and Phelps. How did you get the top billing? Alphabetical?
No,
or?
Jeff gave it to me. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, Phelps and Baskin. I was like, you've been doing this forever. And he was just like, no, Baskin and Phelps sounds better. So I was like,
wow.
Okay, yeah. I think he wanted to be the home team. He wants to bat last
bat
all
last
the time.
in case it's a tie. Yeah, you get the extra. What's new?
Same old. Hockey season's over.
Well, tell people what that means to you.
Oh, God, it means everything. I mean, I'm at a rink every day during the week. And if not, then I go home and I start watching games. And with two kids that play hockey. So been doing that. Maybe dip my toes in a little bit of high school stuff next year. So I'm looking forward to.
Excellent. Now you have a son and a daughter who play.
Yes.
And the daughter plays with the boys, right?
She's on one team with the boys. This is her last year of doing that, probably.
Right. Is she the toughest guy on the team?
No, but I will tell you some of the other girls that she plays with are very, very tough. Like, they love to hit. It's hard at U14 is really what it is. You're allowed to check. Excuse me. And you're allowed to check, and the girls want to check more than the boys do.
Is that right?
It's crazy. And there's some pretty hard hitters in there,
then
too.
You get, one of the girls hits you, and then you say, hey, you want to go to the movies tonight?
Yeah, basically that's what happens. Right, Tropical Storm? Right, he's off on the side. So,
how did you, a Cleveland Heights guy, get involved in hockey?
I think it's what all my neighbors were doing. A good friend of mine, Joe Pastor, some people from around town might know him from J3, lived 2 streets over. And we were all like 5 or 6 years old, and we were ice skating a little bit. And he said, hey, do you want to play hockey? And his dad got me involved, and that's what we were doing. Because otherwise, I probably would have played basketball. My brother played basketball at Heights. My brother played baseball at Heights. I played baseball at Heights for a little bit, but I think that's why, because all the kids in my neighborhood were playing hockey.
Which is interesting because there's no NHL team here.
Well, we had one for a little bit when I was a kid. We had the Barons.
We had the Barons for 2 years. I just think it's interesting. And you guys won the state tournament.
The year after I left.
Oh.
We were 30-0.
Is that why?
It hurts just a little bit. No, but John Malloy, who was our coach, is going back down this weekend at Gilmore. And then I had the chance to be an assistant coach for him years later. That was a blast.
I want to talk about that because now with the coronavirus and all, some tough decisions are being made on every part of this country, but it's affecting the sports world also.
Well, we had John Steinbrecher on today with, with the Mid-American Conference. I'm like scared to even clear my throat. He was on today. He said Mid-American Conference is going to wait and they're going to heed the warnings of whatever local, federal, and medical people are saying.
Right.
So whatever they say, they'll do.
Well, Governor DeWine actually didn't come out and say we're banning the events from taking place, but he heartily suggested don't go.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you tell a kid that spent their whole life trying to reach a state championship? Because we have girls basketball this weekend as well. We have boys regionals. We have state wrestling. We have a lot of things going on. When the Arnold shut down last week, I thought that was a telltale sign. I thought the Arnold is probably one of the biggest and best competitions in the entire country.
Is he still involved in that?
Oh, yes, he is. Very much so, yeah. He was in town last week. He was in Columbus last weekend again. So,
all right, so you're a kid and you've aspired to be the state champ in something, and you want to look at it and say, well, it's unfair, but there's a bigger scope here.
And that's the hard part about it. I mean, what do you do? I don't think anyone knows what to do. I think we're all taking in new information every day on this.
I mean, I was involved. I had to make a decision. My wife and I, we had a vacation planned, and we bagged it basically.
You were going to China? Where were we going?
Almost Mexico. Is that near China?
It depends. If you are...
You just get in the plane and they say... I think there's like one landing spot for all these places, and they just change quickly.
The scenery?
The scenery. They say, okay, bring in the Cancun effect.
Well, that's that's the college question when you're sitting around, I don't know what you're doing, but everyone sits around and says, what if the world around you outside these walls doesn't exist? And everything is there for you.
Oh, that stuff's legal now, by the way.
I know, that's what I heard. It's a very deep show today, very deep.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. Andy Baskin is here, 92.3 The Fan. Browns released Christian-Kirksey, and you know what the surprising thing about that to me? He played here 6 years.
I know.
When did they all go by?
Well, he was hurt for the last one. That's why he forgot about it. Good guy, great locker room guy. Always was nice to us. But I think it's about the money. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Well, here's the money. You're set to make $7.7 million in 2020. The Browns saved over $6 million by releasing him. They wanted to restructure the deal. But here's the question I have. If you want a guy and he wants to come here and it's only a matter of restructuring the deal, just sign the guy. You want him, and
I don't know if he's here if Dorsey's or Barry or is here. Same as Schobert. I mean, that's just kind of where we are.
Yeah, but if you want to release him, release him. Don't say you tried to restructure it, because that, I don't know, makes everybody look bad.
Yeah, where did that? I mean, Mary Kay had that today. A bunch of people had it today, but I don't know why. To whose advantage was it to say we were trying to restructure with him? Is that somebody at the Browns trying to save face? Going, oh, we know he's a fan favorite, but we couldn't come to an agreement.
All right, well, let's look at what Andrew Berry, the general manager, had to say. Christian-Kirksey has been a vital member of our organization for the last 6 seasons because of his contributions on and off the field. He's been a strong leader both in our locker room and in the Cleveland community. These are difficult decisions, and in Christian's case, more challenging because of how well he has represented our team. Berry goes on to talk more about it, which he says, we thank him for his dedication and wish him nothing but the best in his next phase of his career. Somebody will pick him up, right?
It's funny, when you read that statement, I closed my eyes. I couldn't tell if that was Chris Antonetti, Andrew Berry, or Sashi Brown. They all sound the same.
It's an Ivy League thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Then,
so you start up here.
And then Podesta.
Dee Podesta too.
Yeah, that's
it's an honor and a pleasure to be on Les-Levine. And
insert name of host
really, here. Yes, and really, that's what we mean.
Exactly. Candidly. Okay, now, before we put the screen up, name the linebackers left on the team.
Takitaki, mack-Wilson.
That's Takitaki, one guy or two?
That's one. I've got to go to our lads because I don't think anybody else knows the rest of the
All right, here we go.
Okay.
You can win lots of money if you know
Tay
this.
Davis, I knew that one too.
Mack-Wilson, Tay Davis, Tremaine Grace, Sione-takitaki, Willie Davis, not the Willie Davis.
No.
Or we could use that Willie Davis. And Montrell Meander. Who are these guys?
Wait a minute, what about Willie Harvey?
What about him?
He's the Sam.
Willie Harvey.
Our lads thinks that Willie
doing
Harvey.
Family Feud now. No, it's Steve Harvey.
Yeah, it says Willie Harvey, number 56 in your heart and in your program, is one of the starting linebackers.
Unbelievable.
It just goes to show we don't know who's out there. We know Mack-Wilson. We know Takitaki.
And we know we could use guys like, I don't know, Schobert and Kirksey.
Because we know who they are. Let's see who they bring in. Let's see what they do.
True. That's true. You expect anything big? Free agent-wise?
Offensive line help, for sure. That's, not Trent Williams, but I think they're going to go out and get somebody.
Would you get Trent Williams? He wants $20 million.
No. He didn't play last year. I don't know that he's going to help this team.
216-575-0403. You can email us during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. Andy Baskin is here, 92.3 The Fan, along with Jeff Phelps. And Jeff's got to be a happy guy the way the Cavaliers are playing.
They're playing the last 11 games?
They're
They've won
watchable.
6 games. Yeah, they are. They're fun. Andre Drummond's fun.
He is. Don't take threes, though, Andre. Come on.
It's like watching Z take threes, isn't it?
It's the
same thing.
No question about it.
Or Chris Dudley make free throws. Same thing.
Yeah. Did you know the Ohio Lottery has paid out over $1 billion in winnings over the last 6 months? People are winning in record numbers. Winning is happening all around the state of Ohio. Play an Ohio Lottery game and play it today. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/more-sports-and-les-levine, with new content posted each and every day. We'll look in on some responses that you people had from today's question of the week. When we get back, Myles Garrett has a regret. Easy for me to say.
That wascally wabbit. What's he
Elmer
doing?
Fudd will be here. Elmer Flood. We'll take a break. We'll come on back in a moment. More Sports and Les-Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
The heart-pounding, fast-breaking action of college basketball is back when the 2020 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament returns to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse March 11th through the 14th. Presented by Visit Myrtle Beach. Pulses will rise and hearts will race as the men and women of the MAC put it all on the line. Tickets for the MAC tournament are on sale now online at rocketmortgagefieldhouse.com and at all Northern Ohio discount drug marts. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there.
Presque Isle Downs and Casino has sports betting. Use one of our 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet and watch your favorite games on one of our many HD televisions, or visit our sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downs and Casino.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had two choices. I was accepted into a four-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
Birthdays for today, March 10th. Wilted Flowers was born on 1947. AC, 1948.
Is AC's birthday?
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Rod Woodson, and how about this? Bickerstaff.
AC and Bickerstaff have the same birthday?
Yeah.
How about that? How
Andrew
about Zach?
Hawkins, Zach Levine, my nephew,
That's what I thought.
playing with the Chicago Bulls.
I think he just wanted to be different, so he spelled his last name different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should pronounce it the right way, Levine. Oh, no, wait a minute.
No, that's Levine.
That's not
yes.
right.
What are you talking about?
Myles
Shapiro
Garrett.
or Shapiro?
Myles Garrett says he regrets leaving the Browns in the dark about the ESPN interview. What do you think about that?
I don't know why he did it. Why wouldn't you tell the Browns you were going to do it?
Or why do it?
I think he's telling the truth. I mean, that's just me personally. I don't think you make up the story that people think he may have made up.
Nobody heard it? Nobody on the field
I mean,
heard
there were
it?
people saying that he came back in the locker room after the game
And said it
telling
then?
people, yeah. I think I don't know. That's pretty egregious if you're going to make that up as a lie. So
Yeah, and the NFL really didn't want it to come. If it did happen, they wanted to keep it under wraps, I would think.
I guarantee you, there's audio, 100%. Someone has audio, or someone had audio of that. I don't question that at all.
Here's the statement by Myles Garrett talking about that interview. I dropped the ball there. I should have told the Browns before I did. It sprung up in my lap, and I thought it was a good chance to talk about the Water Boys. That's a charity he's involved in. I knew they would bring up the incident. I would have my say on it and then move on to the next topic. My father was right. Have your say some other day later on, and that's the best way to put it. You got to be smart with what you say and when you say it. Well, he's right about that.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we get in interviews that we've done on the radio where like John Steinbrecher, perfect example today. He was on with us. We knew, the commissioner of the Mid-American Conference, we knew that he wanted to talk about Mid-American Conference basketball.
Right.
But if you have him on, there are a lot of things you need to talk to him about. One, coronavirus that's going on right now.
Right.
Two, MAC basketball, maybe even women's basketball. I thought, the wrestling scenario for Mid-American Conference is very interesting because
What do they do? They brought
you
other
got
schools
Missouri and you got all these small schools.
Why? Why?
Clarion?
No, Missouri doesn't have its own conference or its own
They
wrestling
jumped
team?
in with the Mid-American Conference because now they have probably one of the best wrestling conferences in the country.
So
It
how do
rivals
you-
Big Ten. I mean, there's a
but
lot
how
of
do you
good
get out
wrestlers in it.
how do you get out of it for one sport and not another?
Notre Dame's in the Big Ten.
Well, that's a
In
different
hockey.
story. Yeah.
In hockey, I was there the night they won their first Big Ten title. It was very weird to see a Big Ten title flag flying
Hoisted by
in
the
South
Fighting
Bend.
Irish.
Yeah.
Do you think that in any way, shape, or form, Myles Garrett is going to be singled out either by referees, by other players, or what?
2 weeks. That's it. We'll talk about it for 2 weeks in the beginning of the season.
2 weeks of the regular season?
Yeah, or if he gets an egregious penalty, that's
Yeah.
when it'll come up. I think a lot of people want to call him a dirty player.
Do you
And
think?
if he has a personal foul on a quarterback, that's the first thing they're going to say. Whether it's intentional or not, they're going to come back and they're going to say that it was, that he's a dirty player.
Do you think
we know what he is? He's our player.
Right. We used to have E. Rich Barnes in the 60s. He was a dirty player when he was with the Giants. He came here. Boy, what an aggressive player he is.
I think, was he from Chicago originally or somewhere near Chicago? He used to take the train on Sundays to watch the Browns because his dad loved the Browns.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
Very, very nice man.
Let's go to
soft-spoken now, but very nice man.
Let's go to the phones. Your friend and mine, BP from Pepper Pike. Hello, B.
BP.
Oh, long time no talk.
I know.
How's it going, guys?
About 3 hours, 4 hours?
No, I called yesterday
I know.
to talk to you guys on the fan, but I thought I'd give Les a call. I'm really starting to get disturbed with the Browns, and this is why I was leery of the new regime and all these regime changes. I really like what Dorsey was doing because he was a football guy. And, now Christian-Kirksey, he's been injured for the last couple of years, but who's to say maybe he's, healthy now. Maybe he's going to go out sort of like DeQuell Jackson did, when the Browns got rid of him and, lead the league in tackles for the next 2 or 3 years.
Did you see the list of players that's still on the linebacking core? That
are still on the Browns linebacking core?
Yeah. Nobody ever heard of him. Mack-Wilson, that's it.
I'm looking at the depth chart right now. There's a guy, I didn't see your graphic, but I know you guys have great graphics, but I'm looking at a guy named Kay Davis and Willie Harvey. Who? Robert McCray? I thought, he was
he was great in Oklahoma.
Wait, Willie Harvey was the figment of the imagination in, oh no, that was Harvey the Rabbit in Shawshank Redemption. Sorry. Keep going, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's just I hope this new regime knows what they're doing. I really do, because they're going to have a mutiny on their hands. These Browns fans are great people, great fans. I was down at Brown Stadium 3 times this year, saw 3 losses. I just don't know what's going to happen here, but I don't think it's looking that great. We've got no safeties, no linebackers.
All right, hold on, BP. Are you and the people who think like that, are they victims of the fact that there was such a overrated feeling last year? Everybody thought they were going to do so well. Turned out they didn't, and now you're further down the list now?
I don't know. What do you mean by further down the list?
Well, have they lost a year in this rebirth or this remodel?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking the way they're going here that this is almost like a rebuild. This isn't like a reload. I think they're going to be I just don't see the Browns, spending a lot of money. Look at joe-schobert is a good player. Why would you let a guy go? You've been paying him bupkis, to use a Yiddish term, for the last 4 years. He's been making about
Now, there's a linebacker they need, Dick Bupkis.
Yes, I missed that.
Yeah, I wish they could bring him back. But really, the Browns have, similar to Lindor, the Indians have been paying Lindor very little money over the last. They've got almost like a bargain on him. Same thing with the Browns with Schobert. They've been getting a bargain. So
$17 million is a bargain.
Well, they got to have somebody at linebacker. You can't, if they think they're going to win 8 games or 9 games with a bunch of, rookies and, it's not going to happen. I don't like what I'm seeing already from the Andrew Berry regime.
Well, you got to wait till it shows up.
Wait till after free agency before you start killing
you got to wait till they get to camp before you make that kind of a decision.
Kirksey didn't play last year, right? You've lost nothing.
Wait, I'm sorry?
You've lost nothing. Kirksey didn't play.
No, but he was supposed to play, and he's been a contributor. Maybe he's healthy now. So now he's just going to go to the Patriots or some good team and help them win games, just like
the Patriots tend to take guys and put them in the slivers, and they only have to do a certain tiny job. Here in Cleveland, it seems like you got to do everything. Whether you're playing the Mike or the Sam, it doesn't matter.
Jamie Collins went back to the Patriots, and he did really well.
Well, hold on. He's available again. You want him?
Yeah.
He probably won't do well here in Cleveland. He only does well in good teams. But
if they draft an offense, say they take, I'm just throwing out a name there, and they get Jack Coughlin to play the offensive line. Okay, you bring in 2 new guys, maybe fill in the third with somebody who's already here. Is that a win?
Yeah, then on the fan, you guys have had some of your experts saying Conklin's not even that great. He's just an average.
Is he better than what we had on the offensive line?
Average is good in this situation.
They're going to have to overpay him.
But he's also a right tackle. He's not even a left tackle. Tyler Luan was the left tackle and that's usually the premium position. So you're just filling the right tackle spot, which, so you're almost treading water.
Wirtz can play either side, primarily, though, right.
Well, who knows if he'll be there?
I'm just saying that was my hypothetical.
Listen, you got to wait till free agency really opens up and the draft.
One last thing I wanted to mention before you hang up on me.
Yeah.
Joe-Schobert is already being earmarked for the Packers. He's from Wisconsin.
Sure.
He went to University of Wisconsin. You know what? I don't want to see him go there and lead defense in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see that.
Do you really
That's
think
what I'm
Joe
getting-
Schobert is leading Green Bay to the Super Bowl? Do you really believe that?
Yeah, because they're a good team, and he'll just, he'll get 3 or 4
He's
interceptions.
one, yeah, but he's 1/11th of the defense. He is not the
Right.
difference
No, I'm
between
not saying
them
I'm
making the
saying
Super Bowl and
he's
not
gonna-
making the
he's
Super Bowl.
not gonna, I'm not saying he's the leader of the pack. He's not the best guy in the team, but he will help. He'll be on a Super Bowl type of team, just like we saw with the guys on the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right.
Aren't you guys sick of that as a Browns fan, seeing these guys win in other places?
Yeah, but that's the way of the world in the NFL these days. BP, we
It's
got to
the-
go. Thanks
It's the
for the
way
call.
of the world for everything. Look,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of at this point now where if you really expect a player to play on the same team for their entire career,
No.
I don't know. I think you're on an island.
Even
it doesn't
Peyton,
happen.
Even Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Even Tom Brady,
Tom
even
Brady.
though it's at the end.
Where do you think he'll wind up?
I think Tennessee because of Vrabel. And that's a good place for him to be. And
I
man,
think
can
Las
you imagine?
Vegas.
Las Vegas isn't bad.
Yeah.
I think his dream is probably San Francisco, but
Yeah. Wouldn't that be ironic? And then Garoppolo goes back to New England?
wouldn't surprise me.
Could happen.
Anything with Bill.
216-575-0403. Email us during the show, real-leslevine@gmail.com. I've been talking about our friends at Northeast Factory Direct. We talk about how low the prices are because they save, the overhead is so low. Nothing like the big box stores. You're going to be able to save 50, 60, 70%. Now, to prove it, Alex has been in business for 20 years. He's got the best price guarantee. If you find something cheaper than what you paid for at Northeast Factory Direct, he'll immediately give you the difference right back. He doesn't want to be outsold by anybody. It's the best price guarantee from Northeast Factory Direct, East, West, and South, as well as northeastfactorydirect.com. 216-575-0403. How about Trent Williams? You want him? How
I
about
guess I
Ted
know.
Williams? You want him?
Well, part of him's still around. Too soon?
Too
Too soon on that, Joe?
Always too soon. Back in a moment. More Sports and Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
Celebrate Naturestone's 30-year anniversary with a free Naturestone floor. During 2020, we will be giving away 30 free floors to 30 very lucky customers to say thank you for making Naturestone the best concrete flooring solution for garages, basements, and more. Call or visit naturestone.com today to register to win, and we'll send you a copy of our new buyer's guide absolutely free. There's no purchase necessary. Winners will be chosen monthly. With over 30 million square feet installed for more than 60,000 customers, it's easy to see why I always say it's not just a floor. Wow, it's Naturestone.
Got your Ohio Lottery pick 3, I see.
Yup. Those glasses are hip.
Hip? Most people think I'm a square. But what's wrong with that? A box bet can increase your chances of winning. And what is a box? A square. There are so many ways to play. There's coming out the wazoo. Oh, shucks. Look at me yammering on. Put a lid in it, Picky Ricky. Play the Ohio Lottery Pick 3 today.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget. Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
The girls' state semis and championships are at St. John Arena. Go to Ticketmaster.com, type in OHSAA in the search artists, venues, and events, and you will be able to find tickets for all the OHSAA championships. That's Ticketmaster.com, type in OHSAA in the search artists, venues, and events, and you'll see all the championship ticket information.
All right, speaking of making a trade for somebody, Trent Williams is a guy that a lot of people will want. I'm not sure I do. Let's take a look at Trent Williams. He's allowed to pursue a trade. Here you have it, seeking $20 million a year. So am I.
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Would make him the
So-
highest paid lineman.
Think about that. That's only $3 million a year more than Lindor. And Lindor is barely making peanuts, according to...
And he won't get hurt like a football player.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't played since the 2018 season. That's another concern right there. You want him?
No.
I don't either.
I don't.
I don't know anything about him personally. I don't get a good vibe when I think about it.
We've had so many problems here off the field, and that we're worried about everything that goes on outside of the lines.
Right.
I need someone who's going to come play football every day, stop guys from touching my quarterback, and that's it. Wash your hands at the
So
end.
Baker-Mayfield, and I don't know what he's going to do this year. He's one up and one down, as they would say, in 2 years. But he's getting a statue at Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah, he earned it. I mean, you win a Heisman, you should get a statue. Chavez-Levine has one.
Chavez-Levine has one.
You should put one there, too.
From the great wiffle ball players of all time. 70% of his completions in 2017, his Heisman year. How about this? A guy who throws so many interceptions now threw 6 with 43 touchdowns.
That's crazy to think. That he only threw 6 interceptions all year compared to what we saw last year. We need that, Baker. Where are you, Baker? Come find us.
I said something earlier that as time goes on away from the season, it appears that so many people are making it out that his season seems to get worse and worse as time goes on. In other words, the season ended, it wasn't a great year. Then 3 weeks later, it was a horrible year for him. 5 weeks later, it was horrendous year.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was horrendous.
It could have been better. I think that's what the key is.
Yeah.
It could have been better, and I think our problem is that we don't know if the problems he had were coach related. He wasn't coached up enough. Players on the team, they weren't simpatico. Was it a weight issue?
He didn't do the right things in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, did he?
What do
take
you think
things
it
from
was?
I think it's a combination of
of all?
everything, and I also think it's a guy who had money in his pocket for the first time. I mean, I think we forget about some, and married. I mean, those are all a lot of little things that happen.
How much money do you make?
How much money do I make, or does he make?
No, you make big money.
He's making the minimum. He's making whatever the slotted income was.
Let's say it's $6 million.
Okay.
How much do you think he walks? What's his walk around cash pocket situation?
Well, if he's $6 million, you're probably $3.5 million after taxes.
No, I mean on any day if you bump into him and say, "Can you lend me an ear?"
I would hope that it's no more than $200 in his pocket.
Okay, so when he goes to the ATM, he doesn't get like $200,000.
No, you can't do that though. I think they cap you at $300.
No, I think the mirror on top says, "Oh, that's Baker-Mayfield. Let's open a."
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
FDIC or something like that. He's insured, so that's a good thing. Can I ask you a question about the wiffle ball, though?
Yeah, but before we do that.
Okay.
We had a running bit years ago that anytime I had a player on, we had it set up that during a break, I'd tell the guy to just take your money out of your pocket and just leave $7 in your pocket. I had a thing that said, I think that pro athletes only carry $7 with them.
Right.
Because they never pick up a check. So we'd have a thing like, you'd have like 10 players in a row. How much cash? And they'd empty it out. $7.
That's not true.
It is true.
They all had $7 on them?
Well, we took the rest of the money and put it underneath.
Oh, okay.
That's for the bit. Okay, continue on.
So when you were playing stickball, and this is always a pet peeve of mine, okay? You were playing stickball, or you played softball
in the
too?
Streets of New York. I
yes,
played
but you played...
me and Willie Mays.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure. You played softball, right?
Yes.
Softball when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Please tell me that you never played wearing jeans.
I never wore jeans.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
And I don't think I wore shorts until... That's not to say I wasn't wearing anything, but
Right.
I'm talking about shorts.
Maybe softball or baseball pants or...
Yeah, I don't think I wore shorts playing baseball
you
until
can't tell me
my
that
late 20s.
When you played softball, if you rolled up, like we played Sunday mornings
Yeah.
when I was 18, 19, we'd roll up to Forest Hills, and if we saw guys on the other team wearing jeans, boom, automatic win. Denim theory, man. It's totally denim theory.
So you would, if some of the guys wore baseball pants and other guys wore jeans, if the situation would come about where you had a question whether you're going to walk the guy or not, if the guy in the on-deck circle had jeans, you automatically walk the other guy to get to him?
Oh, my God. You always wanted to play against the guy that was wearing jeans. If you were wearing jeans, you shouldn't have been on the softball field.
How about, and jeans with the cut knee?
Oh, yeah. Now that I can understand if you were like 5 or 6 years old and maybe a patch that my mom had put on the outside of it at Kane Park. But I think, no, if you ever rolled up to a softball game and you see that the other team is wearing jeans.
Bring them on. We want
Denim
that. We want
Theory,
field 2.
Boom, that game's over in 3 innings.
At Kane Park,
Yes.
was the hill right field? Like if you...
No, the hill was behind us when we played. You couldn't, the hill was...
Wasn't there a hill on Superior?
The hill's on Taylor.
The hill's on Taylor.
The hills, and by the way, they
Yeah, but that's
smoothed out
9
that hill.
Yeah, that's 9 million feet away.
Yeah, but we would
Where
play...
the kids would sled ride?
Yeah, so the hill was out of play on the left line. And we always played pitcher's hand there because we never had enough kids.
Kids who, they don't even know what pitcher's hand is.
Pitcher's hand. You don't know what pitcher's hand is? Really? You don't know what pitcher's hand is? It's
That's when you had 6 guys.
Yeah, and all you had to do was throw to the pitcher instead of first base,
Yeah.
and if you got it there first.
Absolutely.
And then the key was to go play street hockey across the street.
I didn't know that.
The best place to play street hockey was Berkowitz-Kummen. They have the biggest parking lot. It was smooth. It was just paved.
We're talking about a funeral home.
Yeah, kids were dying to play there. I'm telling you, it was
cut
great.
that out. Enjoy your, explore your interests and find a program that puts you on a path to a bright future. Tri-C offers more than 1,000 courses and over 150 career and technical programs. Go to tri-c.edu for more information. We'll take a break. Franmil-Reyes, 5 homers. He is hot, hitting over like $1 billion down at spring training. Back in a moment. More Sports and Les-Levine exclusively on cleveland.com.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had 2 choices. I was accepted into a 4-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
If a piston makes it go, it's in this show. March Motor Mania takes over the 2020 Summit Racing Equipment IX Piston-powered Autorama. March 13th, 14th, and 15th at the IX Center. Show cars, antique trucks, construction equipment, hot rods in the asylum, motorcycles, military vehicles, and themed car clubs. New for 2020, the Throwdown Monster Trucks, and the return of Fat Man's Invasion. With Euros, imports, sport compacts, and lowriders. Kids 12 and under are free. PistonPowerShow.com for details. Discount tickets on sale at Discount Drug Mart locations and Summit Racing Equipment in Talmadge.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to OhioLottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at smiley1.com.
This date in sports history, March 10th, 1963, Wilta Stilt scores 70 points in a San Francisco loss to Syracuse, 2 teams that aren't there anymore. One of 6 70-plus games in his career.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Were those? Oh, that was a basketball game.
Yeah.
You're talking about Wilt Chamberlain.
Different game, hence the name Wilt.
Gotcha.
216-575-0403 is the number to call.
Too soon?
Is he laughing?
He doesn't know.
Okay. Andy Baskin is with us from 92.3 The Fan. Franmil-Reyes, I wonder how far he could hit a ball up the hill on Taylor Road.
Oh, I think he could hit it up the,
you think?
up the hill. Absolutely. Love him. How can you not?
He's got 5 homers.
The big thing when we first got him, we were talking to the guys from San Diego, and they were like, you're not only going to like him as a baseball player, you're going to love him in the clubhouse. They were genuinely bummed.
Well, he couldn't play in the National League.
Yeah,
but
they loved him. I mean, the guys in San Diego absolutely loved him.
Indians are off today. And Franmil-Reyes, 12 hits and 27 at bats, 444 average, 4 doubles, 5 homers, and 11 RBIs. And if he can just catch the ball, I assume he can catch the ball if you flip it to him, right?
I'm telling you, I think catching the ball in the outfield, as long as you're not nervous, is the easiest part of baseball. Anything in the air.
Yeah, that's all they want them to do.
Put your head down, run to where you think the ball is going to be, and go catch it.
And then cover your head.
That's right.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Devin, who's in Concord. Devin, good evening.
Hey, Devin.
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
Hey, Devin. I got to tell you something. Devin is a friend of my nephew.
Okay.
And apparently, Devin found something on Google with me from 20 years ago. How did you find that?
What is it?
It's on YouTube. So, you can watch your show on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So I go to watch, like, last night's show, whatever, like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And it comes up 1999, Les-Levine, right? More Sports. And I click
The
on
dark-haired version.
Yes. And I obviously talk with your nephew quite often. And I said, have you seen the 1999 YouTube video of Angry Les? Because you're like, you tell a guy that he needs to see a shrink, you know what I mean? And it's like, because he wanted to change the Browns helmet. I don't know, have you seen it yet?
I have seen it.
Do you crush
him?
him?
Very, very amusing. It's hilarious.
Andy just asked if I crushed him. What would you give me from 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
Oh, 9.8.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's classic Les. It's classic. Yeah,
Wow.
it is. I mean,
think about it.
I had to show my wife, and we laughed out loud.
All right, now
literally.
Andy's been in radio and TV for how many years? 25?
It started in 89.
Okay. Could you ever imagine that something you said in 1989 or I said in 99, you could just pop it up and find it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I'm hoping that the stuff that I was saying in 89 is not coming up anywhere. Nowhere. There's some bad Missoula, Montana tapes there.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out and find out. Remember when I said Corey Kluber shouldn't make the Indians team this year? Yeah. I don't think you want to be graded on stuff like that.
Didn't you say also Juan Gonzalez was the missing link, and then he got hurt in the first play?
Or your boy Bud saying Wayne Kirby should start over Manny Ramirez.
Yeah,
he did not say that.
Yes, he did.
Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, what are you gonna do? Right?
It's the beauty. We're like weather guys. You don't always have to be right.
Right. Yeah, sort of like Browns drafting.
Yeah,
it's sort of like the draftees on the Cleveland Browns. You don't have to be good. Just find Jim Brown.
I know. You're right. It's blind luck, that draft, anyways. I mean, hey, about this Lindor thing.
Yeah.
The only way that Lindor turns out to be the bad guy is if, because, Tomei was the bad guy, Manny was the bad guy, Albert Bell was the bad guy.
I don't think people were upset with Manny. Do you?
No, because we saw the whole thing play out.
Yeah.
And Albert was definitely the bad guy. Tomei just didn't. I don't know. I can't really. Well, I can't put my finger on it, but I do know this: that Tomei had the Indians sweating, because I think that the Indians came back and countered with an offer they really weren't prepared to pay, and he came and they all made him the offer, and I think they thought he wasn't going to say yes, and he said, "Can I have more time to think about it?" Because I don't think Jimmy's heart and soul was here in Cleveland.
Yeah, but they lowballed him. They lowballed him.
Oh, and he was thinking about staying.
Yeah.
I mean, the money Philadelphia. There is no human being on this earth that would have stayed for the money that Philadelphia gave him compared to. And by the way, two of the things the Indians had offered him were a suite and a statue, and he still got the statue. So.
Well, however, that being said, wasn't that great when Albert showed up here with the White Sox and people were throwing Monopoly money at him?
That and Manny. Remember Manny Ramirez?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so, the only way that he turns into the bad guy in this situation is if we win it all. And
he's not there. And then with him here?
Yeah, with him here.
Yeah.
And then he bolts. Because he'd be like, hey, we just won it. Where are you going? Come on, we can win a bunch of them now, type of thing. And see, what hurts, though, this is what, the business model with the Dolans. And I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. They want to keep you down to that minors for that extra year, right? To avoid the whole arbor.
They did it with Lindor. Mm-hmm. I mean, this should have been his last year if they brought him up when people wanted him to come up.
Sure. And so so they do that, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is then Lindor then has to prove himself, right? So he proves himself. Now he's like, hey, you kept me down there an extra year. I could have been paid an extra year of money now.
You don't think the Indians are the only team that does that, right?
No, they all do. Not
Yeah, they all
everybody,
do it.
but
I mean, it's.
I know. So that's what part of the negotiation is supposed to be with this.
The problem is that Lindor might be the most popular Indian ever, maybe.
Right.
Well, hold on. Andy's thinking about it. Yeah, I'll throw in. Let's throw in
Over
Rocky
Bob
Colavita.
Feller? Over Bob Feller.
Feller. Well, people who he was popular with never saw him play,
Okay.
for the most part. Who else?
Yeah.
Omar.
But Albert would have been if he would have stayed here and stayed healthy.
Would have been.
But Manny played all those years in Boston, so it diffused all the. Yeah,
Listen,
it's definitely an argument.
Are you telling me Bob Feller, who used to sign 1 billion autographs, are you telling me that if free agency didn't exist, you're going to tell me he'd have stayed with the Indians his whole career?
No way. I agree with you on that. I agree.
No, but back to the point is that now Lindor's like, hey, you kept me down there that year.
Yeah.
So now, it's coming my turn.
Do you really think he's?
No, I don't think that's in his. I don't think that's in his mind at all. I think his mind is to put up big numbers. I think that he wants to bat third this year so he can throw some RBIs on top of whatever other stats that he wants. I think for the Indians' point of view, to win more games, they need him leading off. But I think Francona will adjust.
Yeah, I agree. So there's two things, just in my mind.
All right, go ahead, because we got to move on.
All right, it's a baseball issue because we had to get rid of Bauer. We're going to make a playoff run, and we got to get rid of Bauer, right? Because he's one of your best pitchers.
I'm going to say this real quick. Bauer kind of gets rid of himself with every team. He did it to Arizona too, and we were able to bide our time. And watch, he'll get rid of himself in Cincinnati too.
But I know, but they could have kept him for the playoff run if the salary wasn't what it is.
Why? So he could cut his hand on a drone?
Right. But then the other thing comes down to is the Dolans. Everyone's going to look back when he first got the team. He talked about pitching, and then he goes and gets rid of Lee and he gets rid of Sabathia after they won the Cy Young.
Do you want me to correct you on that or no?
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Sabathia was leaving. There is no doubt about it. He was gone. And Cliff Lee, people were ready to throw in the garbage the year before. Remember all those things? It's just our memory of it is stuck in the fact that they won Cy Youngs, which is great. But Cliff, I'm telling you, the season before Cliff won the Cy Young, I'm standing in Boston with him and his wife, and we were saying goodbye because we didn't think he was coming back the next year, and we thought the Indians were going to release him.
Devin, we act as if we're the Indians or the Browns or the Cavs were the only team these things happen to. These happen to everybody. Washington loses their best player, Bryce Harper, and they go and win the World Series.
Agreed. No, but once again, though, he's a homegrown guy, popular guy. But back to the Cliff Lee thing, you can also blame Shapiro for not having him on that playoff run with Wedge.
He was horrible that year. I'm telling you, he couldn't find the strike zone that year. He had to go back and figure himself out in the minors.
Right.
How many times he went down that year?
Yeah.
But he didn't make the playoff roster.
He shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have that year.
He should not have been on the roster that
Devin,
year.
we got to go. You got to go.
He shouldn't have been.
All right, guys.
Great to
Paul
talk
Bird was also, if you remember, that was the year that Paul Bird, that the story came out about steroids
That
and
day,
him.
the
And
last day.
It was just like, come on, man. The Indians couldn't catch a break in that.
Northeast Factory Direct, you're going to save 50, 60, 70%. Any of the 3 locations, east and west, as well as south. NortheastFactoryDirect.com is the place to go. You think about saving that kind of money, some people think, well, it must be cheap. No, the price is cheap, but the quality is not. Northeast Factory Direct carries high-quality name-brand furniture like Flex Steel in England, Klausner, and much, much more. Amos Furniture right here in northeastern Ohio. Check it out, Northeast Factory Direct. Tell them that I sent you, and they'll get an extra goodie.
Is that the Les hookup?
That is the Les hookup.
Wow. You're so hip.
Sokolowski's University Inn, open 11 to 3 Monday through Friday for lunch, Friday and Saturdays for dinner beginning at 7. There's no better place in town. The winner of the James Beard Foundation Award, only 5 in the country get it each and every year. Sokolowski's won it about 4 years ago, and well-deserved. Great people, great restaurant, one of the great local businesses, Cleveland's oldest family-owned and operated restaurant, all in northeastern Ohio. We'll come back in a moment. Our Facebook question of the day comes your way. Andy Baskin with us. More Sports and Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your basement flooring again. Your concrete is uneven, damp, and not healthy. Carpet and tile don't last, breed mold and mildew, and give worthless warranties. Nature Stone permanently corrects uneven concrete and is not affected by dampness or moisture. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of March. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Heart-pounding, fast-breaking action of college basketball is back when the 2020 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament returns to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse March 11th through the 14th. Presented by Visit Myrtle Beach. Pulses will rise and hearts will race as the men and women of the MAC put it all on the line. Tickets for the MAC tournament are on sale now online at rocketmortgagefieldhouse.com and at all Northern Ohio discount drug marts. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there.
Presque Isle Downs and Casino has sports betting. Use one of our 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet and watch your favorite games on one of our many HD televisions or visit our sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downs and Casino.
This date in Les-Levine history, Andy.
Yes.
1964. Les scored, no, he actually scored 30 points in a loss to East Tech. Before three-pointers existed, Les hit 15 of 18 in the layup line just before the game to account for his 30 points.
Oh, clearly you should count those. You should count every. Is your career total count practice baskets then too?
Yeah, it has to.
Oh, I just want to make sure.
Our question of the day.
Yes.
Facebook. Well, Francisco-Lindor. Oh, one time our backcourt combined for 37 points in a game.
They had 36.
Dave Turk had 20, and John Meyer had 17.
And?
Well, add them up. I think that accounts for the 37 right there. But we contributed toward it.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Will Francisco-Lindor will be a Cleveland Indian by the end of the season? Larry
question.
Pantages, former sports editor at the Beacon Journal, said, I'd like to say yes, but that's a fantasy like wishing John Dorsey and David Griffin were still in charge of the Browns and the Cavs. Easy come, easy go. Get paid. Lawrence Butler. Lindor will be traded during or after the season. Tribe should get a good haul of young prospects, and it's back to rebuilding. Management has done a good job working with financial restraints. I don't believe that the Indians will get a good haul because at the end of this year, there's only 1 year left on a trade, on his value as a trade. They're not going to get all that much.
I think they'll get a decent haul at the end of the season.
For 1 year?
It'll be decent. It might not be as great as it was now. You got Dave Shoup. They snuck one in on you there. Dave Shoup gave you one too. Not really. I'm good with what they have for now. Injuries are already a big part of a team's success or failure. I don't like adding another team to the playoffs.
I'm sorry, Dave Shoup is not on my official list right now.
I know, I saw that. That's why I had to throw it in there for you.
Kevin Piles, however, is.
Oh,
not
Kevin
a chance. Contrary to his public comments, he doesn't want to stay in Cleveland. Dolans can't and shouldn't pay anywhere near 25% of their team payroll for any player. Only 3 to 4 teams could and actually do occasionally. You gave me something over the internet that there are 4 teams that are interested in trading
CBS
for
just
him?
had a story. I just happened during the show. What did it say? The Braves, Phillies, Padres, and Reds. And Reds were number 1.
Wow.
That's a CBS story. I think.
What do they have in the farm system that we can take from
Well,
them?
the Padres have a ton of stuff in their farm system. So I think, though, Les, what was said yesterday is meaningless. And Jason Lloyd had it in The Athletic.
What did he?
that they're cutting off
closing it
talks. Well, what does that really mean?
Nothing.
They're cutting off. It means that he doesn't want to talk about it to the media
Right.
before or after the game. That's the only thing it means. If the Indians, or if I walk up to you and say, "Hey, Les, here, I want to give you $300,000 for today's show," and no, we cut off talks. We can't do that. What?
Well, hold on a minute. That's about the right
we
number.
cut off talks. We're not doing that. That's the point. It doesn't matter if the Indians come up with an offer that his agent likes. Suddenly, we'll have a press conference. But wait, I thought they weren't talking.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
What's 300,000 pennies? What is that? Is that a lot?
No, 30,000.
See, I don't even think of those terms. I have no idea.
I don't know either. But I also think that if the Indians are still in it at the All-Star break, they'll be hesitant to trade him. You
may as well go for it.
Yeah, I think they'll go for it. If he's there at the All-Star, if the team is there at the All-Star break, and they feel like they have a legitimate shot to go all the way, he's not going anywhere.
Okay, LeBron wins a title, then he leaves.
Okay.
And people say, well, he gave us a title, that's okay, we don't mind him leaving. If the Indians win this year, and Lindor leaves, but people okay with it?
People aren't okay with it, but baseball is.
Well, baseball wants him in a big market.
Sure they do. They want him. I don't think. I don't see Lindor being here for the rest of his career.
No, I don't either.
It's the reality of sports right now.
Yeah.
I hate it.
No teams do.
I don't like any part of it.
What players do that?
Nobody.
Trout will probably do it.
Who's staying for an entire contract?
Nobody.
No, who's staying for their entire career
Because the
anymore?
teams that pay the big contract need to unload it after about year 7.
Yeah.
Look at Miguel Cabrera. You don't think Detroit would love to just hand him over to somebody?
How about Baltimore?
Baltimore? They're loaded with that.
They're sticking with a guy that's taking up 41% of their total
Who's that?
payroll.
Chris Davis?
Chris Davis, yeah.
216-575-0403 if you want to get in for the last segment of the show. If you can't find us or can't reach us during the show when we do it live, 6 to 7 Eastern Time, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you can call us, the voicemail of Truth and Reason. Call anytime, leave us a message, 216-200-6650.
Is that a real number, 200?
Absolutely.
I don't know of any, and by kids don't know this, but that's the prefix.
Yes.
Right?
Well, if you get a pizza from Tasty Pizza, you can call Hillcrest 4, whatever the rest of the number is.
That's it?
44. Hillcrest 9. It's 449.
So I got a quick story like that. I had a friend that lived in Chagrin Falls.
Yep.
And I don't want to say they were cheap, but his dad would say, if you need me to come pick you up, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the payphone. I want you to put the quarter in. As soon as I answer, just say 221 and hang up. And if you hang up quick enough, the quarter would come back. And he would know where to pick him up.
How would he know? Never mind.
How many phone booths were in Chagrin Falls?
We had the Wizard. Wizard could tell us. If I said pick a card, any card, and you pick a card, and I call the Wizard, he'd tell you what card it was.
That's a great story.
We'll come back in a moment. We'll check some How Come Quickies and more. Andy Baskin with us. More Sports and Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
Get Nature's Stone and never replace your garage flooring again. Your concrete is cracked, uneven, and not safe. Paints and poly coatings don't last, are slippery, and give worthless warranties. Nature's Stone permanently corrects cracked, uneven concrete, eliminates slipping hazards, and is easy to clean. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of March. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature's Stone.
If a piston makes it go, it's in this show. March Motor Mania takes over the 2020 Summit Racing Equipment IX piston-powered Autorama. March 13th, 14th, and 15th at the IX Center. Show cars, antique trucks, construction equipment, hot rods in the asylum, motorcycles, military vehicles, and themed car clubs. New for 2020, the Throwdown Monster Trucks and the return of Fat Man's Invasion. With Euros, imports, sport compacts, and lowriders. Kids 12 and under are free. PistonPowerShow.com for details. Discount tickets on sale at Discount Drug Mart locations and Summit Racing Equipment in Talmadge.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students, kindergarten through 12th grade, can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
The girls' state semis and championships are at St. John Arena.
Go to Ticketmaster.com, type in OHSAA in the search artists, venues, and events, and you will be able to find tickets for all the OHSAA championships. That's Ticketmaster.com, type in OHSAA in the search artists, venues, and events, and you'll see all the championship ticket information.
Bud Shaw tomorrow night. Thursday we were supposed to be at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, but I don't know. You've got breaking news.
This is on cleveland.com. It just hit 1 minute ago. The Mid-American Conference Women's and Men's Basketball Championships this week at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse will be closed to the general public. The Mid-American Conference announced today. The MAC issued a restricted attendance policy allowing credentialed institutional personnel, student-athlete family members, credentialed media, and official team party members. The release from the state, it was in consultation with the Ohio government and public health officials.
Well, Governor Mike DeWine suggested it earlier today.
And John Steinbrecher was on our radio show today, so it's going to be empty.
I feel terrible. Well, obviously we feel terrible for what's going on totally, but all the work that put into there, the amount of money that was supposed to come into the Cleveland economy.
I got to wonder what's going to happen at... Boy, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
The NCAA tournament.
Well, also the high school stuff going on this weekend.
Down in Columbus.
So, and the Ivy League was the one that kind of started this all off today when they decided they were just going to take their regular season champions and give them the NCAA at-large berth.
All right,
maybe a week will help things out.
Got a couple of How Come quickies for you.
Okay.
For you to grade.
Yes.
This is humbly submitted by Lawrence of Akron, not Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence
How come nobody at ESPN thought of an idea for a 30 for 30 documentary celebrating the Miller Lite beer commercials? Like the one where Jim Hanachek, the umpire, puts on his glasses and says, "Hey, you're Boog Powell." You remember that commercial?
Yeah, that was a great commercial.
It was.
On a thought scale, is that the end of it?
Yeah.
That's a 7.
7, yeah. Bud Shaw would remind him that they're called quickies.
Yes. That's okay. I think that's a
But
good
he made
one.
up for it in quality. How come the MLB Network channel treated the 50th anniversary of Jim Bouton's book, Ball 4, like it was just a piece of paper? The same as a World Series trophy is just a piece of metal.
Ooh, that's a 6.8.
Cutting edge. Toledo Mike, how come I had to stop driving my car for a while? The tires were getting dizzy. That's quick.
That is 6.2.
Eyes of Blue.
Yes.
Mr. Gullible. I saw Mr. Gullible at Sokolowski's a couple of weeks ago with Mr. Cynical. The two traveled together.
Oh, man, that must have been fun.
How come when I called a psychic hotline, I hung up when she asked who was calling?
9. Let
me repeat that. How come when I called a psychic hotline, I hung up when she asked who was calling? Here's a hockey quickie for Andy.
Oh, good.
How come a hockey player and a magician both do hat tricks?
5.
He thought he'd get a good one throwing hockey in?
No, I thought the other one was way better.
It was. It was. Grading on a curve here.
How come ESPN was so desperate for programming they had 2 guys playing catch at midnight the other day? I don't know. I got to tell you, I'm always impressed with How Come Quickies because I just cannot come up with them.
Well, we're on at 6. These people take 6 hours to come up with it.
I know, but like when we randomly...
John Patrick, who is a frequent contributor, he had his knee replaced and he can't submit quickies. I don't know how that 2 and 2 go together on that.
It's not very fast anymore.
I had a friend who had water on the knee.
Okay.
But he took a towel and wiped it off. Meanwhile, I have a bone to pick with you.
Why? What's wrong?
You and I had lucrative speaking engagements the other day.
Yes, the Les-Levine.
And I jumped in. It was a panel, Adam the Bull and Jonathan Peterlin.
Yeah, I didn't jump over you or anything,
Aaron
did
Goldhammer.
I? Yeah.
No, but I was told that as I cut in to say something about Joe Torre, I understand from...
Joe Cacciatore joke?
Yeah.
Oh,
but I understand from various sources.
Yes.
You rolled your eyes before I started it.
Because I knew the joke. Are you kidding? I mean, that was worse than the Houston Astros. I knew the punchline before it was coming. I hit that thing. I heard Joe catch. Oh, here we go again.
Oh, here comes the Joe catcher. What's the matter? You chicken catcher, Tori?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Are we allowed to shake hands?
Ooh, I forgot.
I hit you. Yes.
All
Elbow.
right, that'll do it. Andy Baskin, you can hear him with Jeff Phelps. That's from 10 to 2 on 92.3 The Fan. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bud Shaw with us. We'll be somewhere on Thursday. No, maybe not now. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse probably won't be there.
You're still Credential Media, so
well, that is true.
You might still be doing it.
All right, we'll see you then. Of all the shows I've ever done, this is the most recent.